loaded with die cast. And he also comes with the black ox, as you see right there on the left. So this is a Tetsujin 28 versus black ox. Alright, so you actually get 2 figures for the price, but you might be slightly disappointed once we get more into the figure, and you'll see why. Back here it shows all the stuff that it comes with. Obviously the figure, the stand, it shows you the gimmicks and the articulation of the head. It also shows you Shotaro here with the robot and his little ship here. Also the V-Con, which is the controller for Tetsujin 28. And the head for Black Ox, which looks like it may have an LED. We'll see. Maybe not. And yeah, so go ahead and open this up and check it out. Now don't be deceived by the size of the box. This is a very heavy set. Pull out a little bit at a time here so I don't mess anything up. So you'll see we got the tray out with the accessories. We got this tray out, and don't remember what that is. It's been a few years since I opened this. And the actual set here. Got the little instruction booklet right there. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove this cardboard panel here. See what's going on behind this. Hopefully nothing really falls out. Alright, so you see both figures laid out in beautiful styrofoam tray. So just give me a moment. I'm going to pull these guys out and we'll get started. Now I was going to do this off camera, but a lot of the fun in opening something is opening it and seeing how it's protected and laid out. So this has a plastic piece over this, so you see how well Bandai has protected their figures, and of course the obligatory styrofoam pieces, and wrapped in plastic, which is cool, so the styrofoam doesn't react with the paint in case it ever does over the years. I'm not sure if it will. And you'll see how they've gone ahead and protected the thighs here, which is also a nice touch. I'll take that off in just a moment, but that way you get to see the figure here. And then we'll go ahead and take out Black Ox. Alright, same thing. He's well protected with the plastic and the styrofoam piece. And take this guy out. Alright. Actually, you know what? Part of the disappointment, I just get that out of the way. The disappointment I was talking about before was because some people complain that Black Ox doesn't have as much die cast as him. So from my memory of handling this, I also remember the same thing, thinking like, oh, they could have just made more metal. But since I'm so used to messing around with plastic stuff, I didn't realize that I was really complaining about nothing back then, because this is still hefty. Even heftier than a lot of the die-cast toys right now. And of course this guy is absolutely heavy because he's almost completely die-cast. So both die-cast figures, beautiful, except this one, like the legs aren't metal, but on this guy they are. But still, very cool, very cool. So now that we got both these guys out, I guess we can start off with articulation on Tetsujin. So we'll go ahead and do that. So let me just move this up here, and of course I dropped a robot there in the background. So a lot of Tetsujin toys don't have articulation in the neck because the neck's usually fused to the chest area here, but fortunately they've found a workaround. Alright, so the head just kind of floats right there, the neck, alright, and he's able to move around, which is really cool the way it's done. And you have the shoulders ratcheted, soft ratchets. They're not the clicky kind, they're more like it's a nice firm thud. You have the swivel here on the upper bicep. You have the elbow, which is double jointed, so you can see the articulation in that. Very, very cool articulation. And you have the upper chest area here. You also have the waist movement side to side. I think his legs, yes, they do pull down. I'm not sure if that's as far as they go, but pulling on it quite hard, so that's probably about as far as it goes. And the legs, I'm sure it does go further down. And they do. They just require a really, really firm tug, which was a bit uncomfortable for me. So the crotch goes down a little bit, but then these parts pop out of the upper thigh. So that gives you a bigger range of movement this way. Alright, followed by the knees here, which have this collapsible piece. Okay, so that collapses behind the thigh here, hopefully. Let's get that to do that again. There you go. So it gives you excellent articulation, excellent range here. Alright. And then of course you have the ankles. And I don't believe I showed you the wrists here, but the wrists are also ball jointed. So overall, really good articulation. Actually, these robots are quite greasy, especially Black Ox. Has a lot of grease going on right here on the thighs. I'm sure it's just mold release, but it doesn't feel too good on the hands. Luckily, this Black Ox seems to be okay on the camera. Let's see if we can just keep the exposure from changing. So my hands might be a little bright here, but that's the only way I'm going to be able to film a black robot. And Black Ox, dusty. That's kind of weird. So yeah, same articulation as Tetsujin, all right, in the neck. And let me show you. Actually, let me show you what a regular Tetsujin looks like. All right, just in case you didn't see the other reviews. So this is the regular version of that guy I just reviewed on the video just now. And then Black Ox, here's what he looks like normally. All right. So like I said, these are updated versions, newer, modern versions. And yeah, so he's got the same ears, but now he's got a more humanoid face instead of non-expressive face. So continuing on along, you get the ratcheted, soft ratchet shoulders. Shoulders do extend out. Upper bicep swivel, I believe. Yeah, there we go. There's the upper bicep swivel there. You get the elbows also double jointed, hopefully. No? Yes, double jointed. There you go. All right. You got the hands on a wrist. You have the upper thigh, or the upper chest movement, not a lot. Then you also get a separate waist there. And this guy should also pop out. Pops out a lot better than the other Tetsujin. Didn't have to try that hard. And that gives you a lot of movement this way forward. And looks like mine might be broken. Right here it's splitting. And it is screwed in, so maybe the screw is pulling out. So let's not touch that too much there, but you get the point. And pop that back in, and you get ratcheted knees. Now, right off the bat, I don't know if it's because the lower thighs are metal. This doesn't feel. I think that's where a lot of the negative comments may have come in. Even though it's hefty, it just doesn't have that solid feel. And what's weird is they made the forearms metal. Even the upper arms here are metal. It's almost like they just concentrated on the top and left the bottom all plastic, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But I'm sure they had the reasons. And then down here you see a lot of scratching right here where this part meets the foot. There's no clearance whatsoever. I don't know what the hell they were thinking here. But it's pretty much scuffing up right there. Same thing on this side. It looks like the joints inside might be metal, but there's no way for me to know. But still, decent figure, not too bad. Now, I did show you earlier in the video that it came with this box. I didn't know what it was. This is actually the stands. I'm not going to bother with the stands. They're just regular plain old stands with, hopefully, there are nameplates on them. But you also get this tray here with all the accessories. So you'll see there's a separate mask for Black Ox. There is a little green robot here. There's Shotaro kneeling down with the VCon, the controller. And this is probably the little figure that goes in the vehicle. So stuff I don't display, but for those of you that want to have a nice little diorama going on or whatever, it's there for you. And the reason there's a Black Ox face is because there's actually parts here somewhere. And these are the parts I'm talking about. You got a Black Ox face. Right there you can see the insides of his face. Of course the lighting is horrible, but get the idea. Little robot bits going on in there. You also get a head, an alternate head for Tetsujin, which is the flying head, which allows him to look up this way. Alright, why they couldn't just work this into the regular head instead of giving you another one, I don't know. I guess because there's gaps. I don't know. Whatever. They include a separate head for the flying motion, which I guess I can show you that because I do want to show you the gimmick for Tetsujin. Right, so that's his flying head. Right, he's got his arms out flying, and of course he's going to need a backpack for that, and that is included here. All right, in the backpack, right there. Now, to fly with the backpack, it's got to have a couple wings on there. So to activate the wings, you just push down. There you go. Now it's got wings, which is a cool little feature. I think it looks actually rather nice like this, but I'll never display it that way. But it's cool that it does have those features. Alright, so this is the first time in my ownership of this in the past few years that I've gone ahead and opened this up. I've never really had a thing for accessories, but for the review I can sure ahead show. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so here's the V-Con. I'm going to open it up. Yep, there we go. I knew I had something spring-loaded, which are these little controllers here, which is a really nice little touch. All the details are really nicely done, and I believe, yep, there we go. Now this I know from watching Josh B's review over on Collection DX a long time ago, but I do remember that. The antennas, so there's the little V-Con, and I know the handle pops out here. It's like that. So you get the little V-Con controller. This is what Shotaro uses to control Tetsujin. He goes beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop beep beep boop boop beep boop boop. That's how he controls it, right? So we're gonna go ahead and close this off. Make sure I don't snap off these soft, delicate antennas. Boom! Look at that. Nice little V-Con. All right. What else have we got here? Got the little ship here, a little shuttle, whatever this is. It's some sort of hovercraft. We're going to go ahead and sit this teeny tiny Shotaro here. Wow. It's a miniature pedophile's dream. Alright, so there is Shotaro there in his little hovercraft, so you can speed away from all those creepy guys that follow him around. And then we got Shotaro on his knees again. Miniature pedophile's wet dream. There we go. There we are. I have to, oh, Jesus. Alright, there he is, so you can see him better. Right there. Let's zoom in. How much detail can this thing possibly have? Of course, my camera's not going to focus. There we go, little Shotaro. Alright, and then we got a little green robot. Let's put him up here so you guys can see him. There you are. Little green robot. Alright, then we got the head here, which I showed you before with the little electronic thingies, and then the face that you can put on. Don't know what the point of this is, since it's the same exact damn face. I don't understand why they make separate things. I mean, check it out. It's the same face. Can you see that? Or is my camera going to be idiotic? Yeah, it's the same face. You just are able to take this off, so why not just make it that one? Right, and you also get all these other hands that just spilled out of here. Karate chop hands, titty grabbing hands, stuff like that, which I usually don't get into because it's boring. And yeah, so if you want a Tetsujin, alright, a nice modern representation, can't afford the Godaiken version, and you've always wanted Black Ox